Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski. A lot of people call me Grizzer. And this is where we get you caught up with some of the latest news and tidbits tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. And then we give you our take on the news along the way. Thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We are crawling our way up to 11,000 subscribers. When we get there, we'll change the fit for just one day. We'll give the orange quarter zip a rest. When we get to 12,000, I already know what I'm doing. I'm wearing the 12 jersey for 12,000 for sure. 11,000, we're still working on it. But the orange quarter zip will get a rest when we get there. Regardless. Also, thank you to everybody who's become a member of the Browns' latest dog pound. Woof, woof. And those of you who get your comments in the viewer comment section. Coming up on today's show, play the Ravens this week, and I promised you yesterday I'd figure out a way to beat them. Well, I have found a way to beat the Ravens, but you're not going to like it. Also, there's something that Vikings quarterback JJ McCarthy said that should put Dillon Gabriel on alert heading into Sunday's game. Saying Shedeur Sanders is not the starting quarterback this week is one thing. But it's what Kevin Stefanski is not saying that makes this whole situation way worse. And then down in the viewer comments, what the Browns don't want Shedeur Sanders to be? I don't know. We're going to have to find out what that's all about. Holy moly. All right, first things real quick, headlines. Defensive end Alex Wright, this is not the week for this. Got a quad problem, did not practice, and they're talking IR. So we'll have to see where that goes. Bond, though, did return. We got a wide receiver back, a speedster. We're going to need him. Kevin Stefanski asked about Dillon Gabriel and all of the errant throws, and Coach Kevin called it an occupational hazard. He said, I would just caution any quarterback, young and old, you're going to miss throws. It's an occupational hazard. Right. But if we're going to beat Baltimore on Sunday, we're going to need to make those throws. That's for sure. Because Baltimore is still struggling against the pass. So how do you beat Baltimore? You throw it. Well, first of all, you hope Lamar Jackson's not playing. He didn't practice yesterday. But I think that's precautionary. I mean, he took some hits at the end of that game the other day, but I fully expect he will be out there against us because that's how it goes for Cleveland. But you can hope for Lamar not to play. That's how you beat Baltimore. But the other way is you got to throw on them. They're okay against the run. They've actually gotten better over the last 3 games. They're giving up 123 yards against the run on the season each game, but only 101 the last 3 games. So they are tightening up the run defense. And they acquired a couple guys, Draymond Jones and a linebacker and Gilman, a safety in trade. So they bolstered that defense at the trade deadline too. So, but here's the thing. Take a look at this. Here's the NFL passing defenses. I just gave you the bottom 6 or 7 here. And you see Baltimore, they're bottom 5. 249. They give almost 250 yards a game. But the last 3, you see right there, giving up 255. Look at Chicago, man. 296 the last 3. Eesh, that's a sieve. But Baltimore, 255. So you can throw on these guys. Nothing wrong. I mean, why not? But here's the thing. Our man Dillon, he's still 32nd out of 33 qualifying passers in QBR, 32.5. Yards per attempt, 5 yards. 32nd last, that's last, in air yards per attempt, 5.8, and is tied for the 5th highest rate of off-target passes. 17.9% in the league. Occupational hazard. Right, Kevin? This goes back to like the New England game when I said we're going to have to throw the ball in order to win. Same thing. The difference is we're at home. Should help. The other thing that might help is Rashad Bateman not expected to play. One of their wide receivers. So it'll look like we'll see more of DeAndre Hopkins, although he burned us in the last game. And Lamar Jackson would probably be expected to throw to the tight ends more, which doesn't help us either because Mark Andrews always destroys us. It seems like he is like a lock for a touchdown against us every single time we play Baltimore. And then they also have second-year wideout Devontae Walker. He's a speedy guy, 4.3 speed, so he could be flying down the sidelines. He's like we have Isaiah Bond, they have Walker. So hopefully Walker is not running past our DBs on Sunday. But we're going to have to throw the ball in order to beat them on Sunday, no doubt about it. And if you heard what JJ McCarthy said after the Vikings game with the Ravens last week, Dillon Gabriel better be on alert because here's what he said. Here's what he talked about. He talked about the Ravens' defense and just how good they were. But most specifically, he talked about the Ravens batting down passes at the line of scrimmage. He says it's just absolutely killer. It's a credit to them up front. You know, they played a tremendous game. They had a tremendous game plan, threw the kitchen sink at us in terms of coverages, pressures, new looks. But yeah, it's the little things like that. I think it's the worst play in football, a tipped ball at the line of scrimmage. JJ McCarthy's taller than Dillon Gabriel. This could get ugly fast. The other thing McCarthy talked about is that he threw a pick to Marlon Humphrey, and he said, listen, I got the best wide receiver in the world, so I'm going to try to throw him the ball. We don't have the best wide receivers in the world, so that's another thing that he's going to be contending with. But to beat them, you got to throw. You have to throw the ball against Baltimore to beat them. You have to. And we got to come up with enough defense. So, it's just the whole tipping. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like the worst case scenario. I want to check real quick, and I hate to do this during the show, but we're going to do it. How tall is JJ McCarthy? How tall is JJ McCarthy? And the answer is 6'3". Our guy's not 6'3". Oh my gosh. So they're tipping JJ McCarthy passes. This was just Sunday. This wasn't like months ago. But we got to throw. We have got to throw the ball on them. So that's the bottom line. Now, depending on how things go on Sunday, will this be the last game for Dillon Gabriel? In my mind, it should be. So when will Shedeur play? Did you see this article in The Athletic? Big article in The Athletic about Shedeur and Kevin Stefanski's decision not to play him and everything. But there's one quote from the article that I thought pretty much says it all. It's not that Shedeur is, we're told he's not the starting quarterback this week. Dillon Gabriel's still the starter. It's what's not being said that really creates a problem. And here, take a look at this. Zach Jackson put this out, covers the NFL for The Athletic and the Browns specifically. He said, within this article, it says this: given Gabriel's struggles, it's fair to translate that Stefanski doesn't think Sanders is ready. But if Sanders really isn't, ready, it's past time for Stefanski to say that. And that's it. But he doesn't. All he ever says is that Shedeur is, he's doing a great job of, understanding the game plans each week and doing a great job of understanding the speed and doing a great job at this and doing a great job at that and doing everything's great job. Like, I appreciate the confidence. That's great. He should be, if you should build him up. Don't want to break him down. But it does lead us to the question as to why is he not playing then? And the other thing that I keep thinking about is just all the extra opportunities that Dillon Gabriel got in training camp, going against the ones and, getting to start, going against the ones when they played that in that Rams game and, and the way the play calls were and everything. Like he got all of those extra reps. And then here we are now, 5 games into it. So you could almost say like Dillon's got about, 6, maybe 6.5 games experience already. And so that's why I say turn it over to Shedeur after this game and give him 7 games like Gabriel gets. So, I mean, yes, it'll be 6 on the record, but going back to training camp and all the extra shots he got, and if this, oh my gosh, this defense, you can throw on this defense. Yes, the Baltimore and especially Pittsburgh's defense this year is just, it's not even close to some of the defenses we've seen over there in the past. Pittsburgh's defense is looking way better than, looking a lot more like Cincinnati's defense. Honestly, Cincinnati's defense is a little better, if you can believe that. It's crazy to say, but Baltimore's pass defense is not that far behind them. And so we actually have the best pass defense in the conference, the best defense in the conference. How about that? How do you like them apples? And we can't win games. If I'd have told you before the season started we were going to have the best defense in the conference, you think you'd have thought, oh, man, shoot, we're going to win some games this year. I left out the part where the offense has done absolutely nothing the entire season. So that's all we're saying, man. Like, quit saying he's not the starter this week, but tell us, okay, if he's not ready, then tell us he's not ready and quit telling us he's doing great at everything. So, or just tell us when he's playing. Like I said the other day, just do that. That'd be fine. I'm good with that. Now, what's always playing are the viewer comments. And we're going to start today with Bishop Anthony R. Williams. And I'm going to give him a plug because in parentheses, it says the Word Alive podcast. So Bishop Anthony R. Williams says, and this is what we teased at the top. He says, Shedeur will start when it is mathematically impossible for the Browns to make the playoffs. They don't want him to be the savior of the franchise. Well, I will tell you, Bishop Anthony, that we are like that close to being mathematically eliminated. And I think a loss on Sunday would just about do it. But I see your point because Dillon Gabriel is the handpicked teacher's pet. And if you bench him and Shedeur comes in and rattles off a bunch of wins, bad luck for the people who said, we got to pick this guy in the 3rd round. Very bad look. Now, Bishop Anthony, while I have you for a minute, everybody, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Bernie Kosar is going through some stuff. He went in, he put this is from his TikTok. He was in the hospital again yesterday, and he needs a liver transplant, and his liver started bleeding again. He had a couple of procedures done, and this is right before he was having a 3rd procedure done. He was asking everybody for prayers and to think of him. And I just want to let him know, like, Bernie is a legend in this town, man. The best memories of Cleveland Browns football for my generation are the Bernie days. I know you have the Jim Brown generation. You have, you kind of have your generations. But for my days, the Bernie days were the best. And Bernie is the best. If you see him out, you talk to him. He's just so nice. Such a great guy. And you could see there, I sent him some well wishes. So if you can find him on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, wherever you can find him, if you can find him. And Bishop Anthony, if you can send along some things from a higher power, would appreciate it. Let's give Bernie some good vibes, man, because he needs them right now. So, but Bishop Anthony, great take. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and let's get Bernie healthy. Studio One Create Today says that the Shedeur Sanders had the best stats coming out of all the training camp of all the Cleveland Browns quarterbacks. Dillon Gabriel made his first career start at a Week 5 loss at the Minnesota Vikings. His last game, he lost to the Jets. It's not hard to figure out that Stefanski doesn't give 2 blanks, but he didn't say blanks. doesn't give two blanks about the Browns or the fan base. If Stefanski is on a race to the bottom with the Browns, he is winning all the way to the very bottom of the NFL. Again, if we only knew, if we only got some real answers instead of Stefanswers, this would be much clearer. But yeah, I mean, Flacco looked great in training camp, and then the season started, and the offense was a complete opposite of what we saw at training camp. It is baffling. It's mind-boggling. But Dillon Gabriel never passed the eye test for me. Still doesn't. And then you got Shedeur. That game, that night, remember, man, that Friday night against Carolina. I know it was a preseason game, but geez, oh man, everybody, the whole city, everybody it was like an electric. It felt like the Bernie days again. That's why Bernie is so special in this town, man. What he did for us, never made it to a Super Bowl, but man, oh man, we were like locked into the playoffs, and it was pretty much, we knew we were gonna be in the AFC Championship game nearly every year with him. Those were the days, man. That's all we're trying to get back to. We want to get back to the Bernie days. Darren Sycon says, sadly, the Browns are like an old girlfriend who keeps cheating on you every Sunday. You swear I'm done with them on Monday, but then the next Sunday comes up and we still go back to them. This sounds a lot like my buddy Soda Pop Dave. He says this all the time. I can't tell you how many times he broke up with the Browns. He breaks up with the Browns like every week. There's a different reason. Every week he breaks up with the Browns. But then on Sunday, I'm getting texts from him. Hey, did you see the pass? Hey, did you see that run by Judkins? I'm like, I thought you broke up. What are you doing? This is Soda Pop Dave, Darren Sycon. And so you're not wrong. And there are a lot of us that are like that. I've broken up with him before, back in the day, but you're right. You just keep coming back. I always try to tell people it's kind of like it's like a sickness in some ways. But it's just can't stop. Believe land. This is believe land, Darren. All right. And finally, the truth. We'll end on finally the truth, who says, if y'all thought the Caitlin Clark effect was big and uncontrollable, wait till this one drops. It's going to be bananas. Love the use of bananas. And yeah, you're probably right. What Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. Yeah, man. And here's the thing. Here's the one thing that I'm holding out hope for. Maybe, just maybe. But again, if somebody would just say it, maybe, just maybe. They are just keeping Shedeur in the lab. And, almost like like an Iron Man situation or something. I'm trying to think of like a superhero that you build in the lab, and you're just giving him all of the knowledge that he needs in the lab, before he goes out, because they really want to make sure he is absolutely ready to go, and maybe ahead of the game when he gets out there, because they know what they have. They know they have a Ferrari, and they don't want to put it out there early. They know what they have. And they know that the second he steps on the field, every single eye turns to the Browns. So maybe that's what I'm holding out hope for. Maybe that's why mum's the word. It's like one of those, when you watch those movies when there's like some kind of secret thing they're building in some, cave out in New Mexico or something, and then, you got to go like in an elevator all the way down like 4 miles. And then you go into the lab, and there they are, and they're working on it like this superhuman thing to fight off the enemies or whatever. Maybe that's what's going on with Shedeur. But we don't know, because nobody will answer the questions directly. But that's what I'm holding out hope for, that they're really just trying. They want him, the second he steps onto that field, to just take the reins and just never let go. And they're making sure that they got him down there, and they're putting him all these situations and using virtual stuff and throwing things at him, and putting blindfolding him and making him throw passes and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's the only thing. Like, that is where I'm holding out hope, is that I want to give the Browns the benefit of the doubt on this, and just hope that that's what they're doing for Shedeur, making sure that he is lined up and ready to go when he steps on that field, which hopefully will be next week. But there we go. Great take. Finally, the truth appreciated. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for watching. Please, if you can, reach out to Bernie. Hit him up on social media. Let him know we're all thinking about him. Bernie, man, dude, number 19, we got you. We're with you. All right, go Browns. We will see you next time.